Yo, 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 in a bottle of rum. I didn't wake up in a Luther Vandross spirit this morning, so I couldn't carry that note as loudly as I wanted to and burst eardrums and make them rupture, make the blood rupture all over your shoulders and neck. But that's okay. It's your boy MM2K back again. Yes, I'm demented. If you haven't been following my content, I'm back again with another not SSC podcast. Jesus Christ, that's later this week. I'm back with another SLS. Too many damn S's. SLS, S 'em up, Essays, Essence, SLS featuring MM2K here on StadiaDosage. All right. We're gonna have a good one today. We're going to have a mini coming to Jesus moment today. A mini coming to Jesus moment. Because I sent out a tweet earlier yesterday, and I was going to save it for tomorrow, my response. But I've been patiently sitting back watching the discussions on FIFA 23 and Stadia. And I've crystallized the essence of what's wrong here in the community. So I want to talk about it briefly again, because it's not my job continuously on every piece of content that I do to be the old man shaking my fist outside of the window. But we kind of made a comment earlier in this year where I told everybody, I don't know if you guys remember that weekly checkup, check that out, the show that's hosted by Joe Smock Jr. and myself. We said earlier in the year that by the end of this year, a lot of the things, not everything, but a lot of the things that have been said by whatever you want to call it, the naysayers, the doubters, or whatever, by the time we get to the end of this year, a lot of that stuff is going to be debunked. A lot of people will be under the silly umbrella for continuing to pound and die on the hill of certain rhetoric. And it's going to get to a point to where credibility, is really going to be looked at after the dust settles. You know what I mean? So we said at the beginning of this year, some people may want to check their emotions at the front door. Just because something is different from what you're used to doesn't mean it's going to fail, or doesn't mean that the worst is coming out. It's just a learning experience. And I think too many of us, the irony of this is that too many of us who are new to this, spanking brand new, don't know the lineage, don't know how this works over time, haven't been doing this long enough, that we came in here a hot minute ago, and now we're the experts. We're the creme de la creme of everything. We know how everything works. We know what everything means. The irony of that is so thick. It's so you can't even cut it. So a lot of people are confused. They're walking around slobbering all over themselves with their mouths open like, what? That happened? I'm shocked. I'm really surprised here. We're going to explain to you why you should have never been surprised. Why you shouldn't have been shocked. This is coming from someone who admittingly, I don't know everything. Some things I know. A lot more I don't. There's some things I can't say are going to happen definitively. No, that's absurd. That's crazy. There's things that people at Stadia themselves don't know definitively, because it's going to be based upon how things are received, the performance, and if they can continue to keep up with their cloud peers. That's That's going to determine certain things. So they don't know everything. But when you're on a fact-finding campaign, there were just some things that you should know. And there's just some things that you should know to avoid. So I'm talking to my people that are on a fact-finding campaign. If you're one of those people that find yourself on a fact-finding campaign, not let me lay on the floor like a cute pet and have someone tickle my stomach over the internet, meaning, I want to be entertained. If you're on a fact-finding tour and you feel yourself wanting to be involved in fact-finding conversations, if you were shocked or if you're surprised by any of this, that's not a reflection on Stadia. That's a reflection on you. I'm going to explain why. So just bear with me. We're still tweeting stuff out. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We love you guys dearly. Like I always say, I love a lot of you like kids I ain't paid child support for. I love all of y'all. It's just, man, oh man, Jesus Christ is, whoa, I don't get it. I don't get it, but it's okay. Shout out to, my brother from another mother, Four Scars Gaming. Been a member for 15 months, man. I appreciate. You know what? I hope John don't mind me having this conversation. So I follow John, and something happened. Oh yeah. So if you and there's some small content creators too that I've followed. So if you're listening to this, and then you guys had some patronage. I've given you guys some patronage, and I did it routinely and never thought twice about it. You may have noticed, like over the last month or so, it stopped. It's me being a bird brain. I had some crazy things happen back to back with credit cards that I had. So I had back to back credit cards that I had to cancel. For some reason, like I'm Warren Buffett or something, like I got all the money in the world. I've been getting hit by scammers. And I'm not hit, but I've had some funny stuff happen. Thank goodness nobody's been able to get to my stuff, because I kind of understand how that world operates, because it's been part of my job to be cognizant of these identity theft type things. I'll just leave it at that. So there's certain things that I do that are unorthodox that my money's always safe. But I've had credit cards just like back to back. And then the other day, Bank of America, I want to give you guys an update. I know this has nothing to do with gaming, but just real quick. Bank of America called me, right? So I'm dealing with the grandkids, all this other stuff, and they had me off my rocker. And man, they got this elaborate scheme. Like I think I still got the letter right here. And again, it's my job, or it was. Jesus Christ, man, this is like real legit stuff. This is a fake ass letter from Bank of America. It looks legit. It looks real. It has legitimate seals. So, I mean, I hate to say this live on air. I feel like that there's like inside work being done. Like people are getting access to legitimate Bank of America paper and seals and stuff like that. And they sent me a letter about an account that was opened up. And I'm like, I don't bank with Bank of America. So I called them. Was like, I want to close this account and all this stuff. And they were very slick in how they were trying to fish me for information. And I got to be honest, if this was an internal test at work, I would have failed. They would have said, what happened to your decades of training? Like, you gave away too much. So I gave away some superficial things. And then I caught on to something. Then all the fog of the kids yelling and screaming and pop, I want some more cookies and all that crazy stuff went away. And I said, holy smack, this is a scam. Very elaborate scam. So if you get a letter from Bank of America in the mail, and it tells you, your Advantage Plus banking account it says here, and it has a zero balance. And of course, the number's there for you to call. This was a 1-800-432-1000. That's not a Bank of America phone number. So if you get anything like that, it's an elaborate, the most elaborate scam I've seen yet. Be careful. So anyway, what does that got to do with John Scar? John Scar's not part of that, I promise you. No. So I was talking to John, like, John, look, brother, I know I'm guilty of the patronage that I've done. Not that John wasn't asking for. He didn't give two rats monkeys, you know what. But I just felt I should mention it. And I said, I'll take care of it today. And then I got distracted. And then I just was reminded, because now he's hit me up. He hasn't skipped a beat 15 months straight. So what type of friend am I, right? I'm glad, you know, John isn't on his last leg, like shaking and like, oh, all I need is a pack of oodles and noodles, and I think I can make it. But don't worry, honey. MM2K said he was going to send his monthly patronage. I'm glad he's not, you know, there, because I would be a heck of a friend, right? I'm horrible. I'm a horrible father, taxpayer, everything you can think of. But no, I just, you know, it just reminded me of that, and I'm still like smacking myself in the head because I just went through 2 months, 2 cards of fraudulent activity, and then Bank of America was just able to just slide in like I'm some noob, I don't know any better, and sent me this letter, and I didn't give him much, but I gave him more than I should have. You know what I mean? So silly me. But yeah, for those of you that have received patronage from me, don't worry. I'm as soon as I get everything adjusted, I'm gonna take care of everybody again. And it wasn't purposeful. I didn't mean to. Another thing too, that you guys may not be aware of, which would be mighty cool, would help us out a lot and help us give back to the community. One thing that I've done too is, because I remember I was talking to somebody else about the patronage, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm good," and I'm like, "Why are you good?" I have 2 Amazon Prime accounts, and you know, both of them are connected for gaming. If you have an Amazon Prime account, every month you can gift somebody a sub. So, you know, you could, you know, just give them a $5 sub. You get 1 free sub with your Amazon Prime account for somebody on Twitch, that is. I'm talking about the competitor. So if you know somebody, StadiaDosage Plus, that's on Twitch, and you got Amazon Prime and you would like to gift them a sub, go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? That'd be cool. But yeah, somebody was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm straight." And I said, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I hit you with the Amazon Plus." So, you know, just spreading some content creator love and some awareness. Here, let me get into my Discord so you guys can see my lovely avatar as I run my mouth. And we're going to get right into these topics. I think that's it. Yep, there we go. I want to drop this in a couple of Discords before we go. Is there no music playing? I don't think I have any music playing. I don't. So let's change that. There we go. All right. It's nice little music there. Okay. Now let me go to here. Oh yeah, and this is the last week for the squeaky chair. Yeah, I've had this chair for about 8 years. I've had other chairs, but for some reason they just didn't feel right, feel comfortable. I had one chair that just like, as soon as I sat down in it, the wheel popped off, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I you know, do I got to get back on the scale? I gotta up my workout regimen. That was just a cheap chair, you know. But I got me a solid chair, so I'll be getting that next week. So the squeaky chair is gone. I just love this chair so much. It just squeaks too damn much. I've oiled this thing down. I've oiled this thing down so much. There's a huge, I got rid of it last week. There was a huge black spot in my carpet because of all the dirt and grime that came from within the chair had seeped out into the carpet. And I never noticed it because the chair always covered it. So my wife was vacuuming a couple of weeks ago, and she said, yeah, we just moved here. You need to do something about that. And I said, yes, honey. Yes, honey. I don't want the wife attack. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to cover. I don't want to be here all day. Neither do you, because you got games to play. So do I. And speaking of playing games, Again, check us out. Stadia Dosage streams, Stadia Dosage Plus. We did a heck of a stream earlier today. And then we also got a raid out there too, one of those channels. We're gonna be doing it again this Saturday. I was talking to Casey, who helped me when I was playing earlier. And man, we're gonna be doing some things, man. So definitely check out Old Dirty Blasters on Stadia Dosage streams on YouTube, Stadia Dosage Plus on Twitch. All right, let's do something else here. Hold on. Let me do one more thing so I can see you guys in the chat. Social. All right, I didn't connect that. All right, you know I'm all over the place. So let me connect the comment section so we can show everybody's comments. See, I'm not like Clive. You know, Clive E. Linden had a hell of a show, and I missed it last night because I fell asleep. I'm getting old. No, I've upped my workout regimen, and man, is it kicking my ass. So my wife's first day of work was yesterday. She got home at 4 Eastern. Clive usually comes on at 5, so I sat in my chair. What I normally do, I sit in my nice little recliner, plop Clive, get ready to plop Clive on the, you know, on the TV via YouTube, and I fell right asleep. Didn't wake up till like 8. So when I did my regiment this morning, I listened to Clive. Great, it was a hell of a show. Great show. But Clive, when he starts. Everything's on time. He's together, all that great stuff. That's not MM2K, just so you guys are aware. You're getting a lot more professional setup there. You don't get all the crazy eardrum bleating singing in the beginning. I don't know where that came from, but it's just something that I do. All right, so before we get started, let me do the courteous thing. Let me shout out everybody in the chat. Before I can do that again, I keep forgetting. MM2K, your eyes are old. So here's what you got to do, brother. You got to put these screens on this side. And that's how you can tell someone's getting old, when they like they got to talk to themselves. Third person, MM2K. Got to do here. The young part of me still talking to the old part of me and got me. All right, so let's do it. We got Toffee Blue Nose. What's up, Toffee Blue Nose? I love these names. Hi, Petter. Yo, Deep Breath. We got Sneaky Ray in the house. Oh, firm. Toffee Blue Nose. Oh, Stadia is doomed. Oh, Aminar, man, Jesus. You're gonna have to just give it up, brother. We're gonna get you a Stadia shirt with the Stadia emblem on the front and a picture of Phil Harrison on the back. We're gonna get that for you. He said, boo. Dusty ran in the house. Who else we got in here? Let me see. Yo, we got Dr. Streamex in the house. He's in. Yo, what's up? Good to see you, my good friend. Collins Dynasty. Ain't seen you in a long time, my friend. And Roger, as always, do us a huge favor. Tweet us out. Let everybody know that we are live. Also, we're doing a raffle today. All right. Let me tweet this out. Let everybody know. Okay. Join us. Join us live now for a chance to win a cash prize, and we'll do Gifta Palooza. For those of you that are new, that are not aware, all month on this channel, anytime we're live, we are going to be giving away a gift prize of at least $25 USD or higher to help go towards, purchase or whatever. Where we can, it's going to be Google gift credits or whatever. So definitely stay tuned here and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells as well, so you know when we are going live. Our good friend Squid goes live every Monday through Friday in the mornings with Chill Times with Squid. And then we do SLS on Tuesdays. SSC's kind of floating between Wednesdays and Thursdays now as we still try to stabilize the panel schedule. And then there could be other things. Now, there is a new show premiering this week. As a matter of fact, there is a new show premiering this week, and I think it's I need to remember this time because I got to be there for the first episode. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. There's going to be more about it tomorrow, but 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. Finally, the show that I've been talking about, that I'm so excited about, it is premiering this Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 10 a.m. I think that's 10 a.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. UK. You're not going to be disappointed by this show. This is going to be a hell of a show. I'm going to say this. I'm just going to go on a limb and I'm going to say this. I'm not going to speak for Squid. Squid's show is fantastic. And, I saw some people out on Twitter boo-hooing because they couldn't catch the show or whatever. And I know Squid's power was out too. He had a couple of hiccups there. But I'm talking about my own personal content. Better than anything that I've ever done on the platform. I'm saying it now. And here's the kicker. I ain't got nothing to do with the show. That's what's going to make it even better. So if you're tired of hearing my loud mouth and me wagging my fist through the window at you, get off my lawn, you ain't got to worry about that. This is going to be a great feel-good show full of smart conversations. We have assembled some of the funniest, the most intelligent cloud gamers in this community. Some old, some new, some blue. And we've slapped them together on one show that's going to be side-splitting. It's going to be engaging, informative. It's going to touch on every single emotional node that is inside your body. This Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe it's going to be. You're not going to want to miss the show. It's going to be a hell of a show. We'll have names and stuff like that later. But again, someone's having heart surgery, you got to tell them, sorry, can't make it. No. Clear your calendars for 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe that is 10 a.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. UK for the new Stadia show. Facts. Absolutely. All right. So I want to put this up here. Be active in the chat and type raffle when prompted for a chance to win cash prize. You got to be a subscriber too. So that's why if you noticed, if you're not a subscriber, you can't even type anything. I'm not even going to play with your emotions. All for the month of July. This is Giftapalooza. And you're going to want to be a subscriber in order to participate. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right now. I'm going to authorize the thing right now as people flock in. Let's do this. Gift. No. Go. Zedwick. Oh, that's the wrong one. Damn you. Damn you. Damn you. We want the dashboard. You would Twitch. Then switch it. We're going to switch it to YouTube. All right, now that we switched it to YouTube, we're now going to go to our trusty cloud bot. We're gonna go to our cloud bot and we're going to go to giveaways. Now that we're here under giveaways, we're gonna start the giveaway right now. Let's start it. I could randomly pull at any moment. All right. I could randomly pull a winner at any moment. So you should be prompted soon. There it goes. There it goes right now. Hit exclamation point raffle to be, to get your ticket. Get your ticket so you can participate. Shout out to Sean L in the house. What's going on, good brother? All right. So let's do this while you guys are getting everything together. Oh, Sean L, it's got to be one word, all one word, no spaces. There you go, brother. There you go, brother. There you go. That's what I like to see. Let them know. That's what I like to see. Now, as you guys are getting all your raffle tickets in now, I'm going to go to the web. This is StadiaDosage.com. All right. And great God Almighty, man, oh man, oh man, are these brothers over here killing it over at Stadia? Can we give StadiaDosage.com a round of applause? Hercules. Let's give them a round of applause. They are killing it over there. And here's what I have to say. Some hard, and Clive, I know the guys appreciate it. I can't take accolades for it because they're, shout out to Jack the Slip that's looking over the effort there and curating the effort there. But thank you so much for the kind words. I accept it on their behalf as far as the content. They're doing a hell of a job there, and just watching Jack interact with the staff, and just making sure things are right. You know what I mean? Like and again, I know people look at us and they're like, "Oh, you shills! All you want is Stadia to be praised." No, if you don't like Stadia, that's fine. It's okay. It's okay. We're not losing sleep because people don't like Stadia. We just want everything as far as the focus of the platform. We want people to know what it is and know what it isn't. And on top of that, what we're saying is we know what it is and we enjoy it. So if you fit under the same bill, if you know what it is and you enjoy it as well, come and join us. Let's have a grand old time talking about this platform and enjoying it, right? And everything that we talk about isn't going to be peaches and cream. We did a segment this weekend on Weekly Checkup where I went on a whole rant and a half about how I just wasn't a fan of how the trials were being marketed. You know what I mean? So everything's not going to be peach, but as far as the doom and gloom, the FUD, we know how to handle disappointment, and we don't let our disappointment, because are we disappointed with some things? Absolutely. But we don't let our disappointment make us go into fits and then try to caveat the facts to make things mean something else. I'm going to show you Stadia. No, we're not doing that. Again, it's bigger and beyond us. And what we want to do is show people what it is and what it isn't. But then the part that is encompassing of us in the community is if you do enjoy it, which you wouldn't want to be a community of something, right? Unless you were enjoying it. If you do enjoy it, come on, let's have some fun with it. Let's play some games. Let's give back to the community. Let's do some things like that, right? That's what this platform is all about. So shout out to them. There was some news, a lot of news out here. You definitely can get caught up on what's going on with Stadia. But there's a cool off with the Stadia sale, as they put it. It's too hot to be outdoors. Not on all fours. This is a family show, Panelist. There we go. We'll get that together. It's too hot to be outdoors right now. You're better off staying inside and playing games. Thanks to the recently added Stadia sale. Just got a lot easier. Enjoy up to 50% off of games, including Tomb Raider Definitive Edition for $2.99. Jesus Christ. Tomb Raider series, Life is Strange, True Colors, Blue Fire, all that stuff. Look at these prices. Holy cow. Let us know if you're picking up any bargains today. Let us know in the chat. Is there anything that you plan on picking up today? But I know Stadia had a massive sale the other day, but that's another thing too that is great about the platform. You know, we always hear Stadia is so expensive to interact with. Oh my God, full price. Yeah, I think that's just another myth, some more FUD that we can stomp on and trample out. All right, don't forget to hit the exclamation point raffle for your chance to win either a gift card or money equivalent, whatever the case may be. All right, let's get on to today's topics. So first, I want to talk about FIFA 23. All right, just to give the history, FIFA was questioned. We got to go back further. Stadia has had a slow-moving 2023 or 2022 so far, right? And even though this is very reminiscent of 2020, and even though what happened in 2020 is they suffered delays because of COVID had just hit in 2020, and there was just a bunch of things happening. Got to remember, Cyberpunk was pushed back, Marvel was pushed back, Doom was pushed back like a month or so, but a lot of games were pushed back. Ubisoft Plus, which was Uplay Plus at the time, that implementation was supposed to, from what we understand, was supposed to start earlier in the year, and that got pushed back. So there were a lot of delays for various reasons that happened. And so therefore Stadia was more second half heavy than it was first half heavy. Remember, we went through the same spiel. They're dying out already. Killed by Google is our Lord and Savior. Remember that? And it ended up being a farce. So we fast forward to 2021. Stadia closes SG&E, right? We know that, and we know that the backlash from that, right? And the perception for some that caused. But here at Stadia Dosage, we continuously told you guys, along with people like Clive Linden, along with John Scar and Sonny and others, right? We continuously told you that, look, we're not saying that every move that they make is perfect. We're not saying that the end result is going to lead to Stadia being the king of all kings. Like they're going to be holding GFN skull in one hand and Xbox's bloody carcass in the other hand, and we are the victors. We're not saying that Stadia is going to do that. What we're saying is that these are the early years. Everybody is going to be jockeying and positioning themselves and realigning where they need to deal with early hiccups. GFN did it when they were having issues with maintaining games and building relationships with the big publishers. Now they've revamped and they've gotten EA, even though it's just their back catalog right now, might grow into something else. You never know. And they, as far as AAA games, they had a great first quarter, whatever that time frame was, right? After realigning themselves, Xbox, who came out and thought that they were going to market, they were going to ship and pack xCloud with the Xbox Series X retail, they had to draw back and go back to the drawing board. Because when they saw what Stadia was capable of, they realized, we can't sell this. Remember, you had Phil Spencer himself, after being asked by the Fortune magazine infamous interview, that he asked the guy, would you ship that? Well, they had planned to. So they had to reconfigure themselves, and they're getting accolades because of, they've pretty much brought Game Pass to the cloud or whatever, and it may not be my cup of tea because of performance and things like that. But again, they're getting accolades. They're in a better place now than they were before. Nonetheless, everybody's improving. Even if they're not improving to your particular taste, everybody's making improvements. Despite the first half of 2023, sorry for the squeaky chair, despite the first half of 2023 for Stadia, Stadia is still better today than when it was at launch. Same thing with Stadia. It's making improvements. It's making enhancements. It's just that they had to repivot and reshuffle how they get games too. Like how GFN did. They had to reshuffle how they get games too, because GFN's problem was a contractual thing. Stadia's problem was a technical thing. How do we put the games on there? So they had their slow period too, right? And, for the simple fact that they had to rebuild tools as far as porting is concerned, and it only took them, well, I don't want to say only, we still haven't seen the end state of all this, but the fact that there's rapidly moving on that proposition, and we're seeing results already, that shows the level of dedication that they have. But we told you guys in 2021, did we not? We told you about the Stadia keynote before Stadia did. And we also told you that from what we heard, that Stadia is going to put their heads down and they're going to do the hard work. And you may not hear from them as frequently as you like, but that doesn't mean that they're not trying to make the deals in lieu of the toolkits. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not trying to balance and juggle and get the games that you want. Because it's not just as easy as, hey, we're Google, we got this thing called Stadia, you want to give us a game. It's not as easy as that. It doesn't work like that. Sunny Cloud Gaming has done a fantastic job in illustrating that in just the conversations that he's had with other platforms. When you're a cloud platform, and it's not that simple. It's not how it works. So we told you that. What happened? Stadia keynote came that we told you about. And just like we told you guys in advance, they told you in that GameIndustry.biz article, they're putting their heads down and they're doing great work. They said, pay attention to what we do, not what's being said. So 2022 rolls in. Look, it's looking like you got GFN knocking it out of the park with the AAA content that it got as far as a cloud gaming platform is concerned. Then other platforms. Then you start, really this year you started seeing AAA content at a rate across the board that you really didn't see in Stadia. Opposite of that, they're going to introduce bringing games to the platform. This is how they're going to work to get the big budget games and the small budget games to the platform. And it's going to take time to develop. It's going to take time to get in the hands of the people. And it's not going to be an immediate, oh, now it's ready. And then you're just going to see a plethora of games come to the platform. Nobody's ever said that too, that is of any credibility. We said this whole process is going to take time. But that's why you're seeing the slowdown. Similar to 2020, in 2022, you're seeing a slowdown, likely because people are waiting for the porting tools. You've heard that from various sources. You've heard that from us as well. But no, you've had pockets of where they've told you, no, EA has given up on Stadia. They've given up. Stadia only wants to get indie games from here on out. Oh, they don't want AAAs anymore. They've given up on AAAs. We've even had some that have a reputable Stadia hate syndrome. Run on media, horse, take me up. Tell Google that Stadia needs to shut down. Shut down when there's so much evidence that they're of the top performing, as far as engagement, top performing cloud platforms out there. Give up on it. Give it up. Shut it up, because I said so. The same people that in 2018 and 2019 didn't do their damn job and told you that Stadia was going to be a hybrid. They told you it was going to be a console and it was going to be a cloud, a detach away cloud infrastructure, cloud component. It was going to have cloud components, but it was going to be a console. When they had the evidence in their hands that it was going to run through the Chromecast Ultra for your TV, when they had that evidence in their hands, they rejected it because they couldn't understand it. Instead of doing what a journalist does and just digs and digs and digs until they get to the core, they caveated the information to their feeble understanding. They did it then, and they're doing it now. They had the evidence in it. There were wild rumors, they said. Wild rumors that it was going to be through a CCU, but Stadia knew better, and that just doesn't make sense to me. That's the bull crap that they were putting out there. And at the time, we weren't the wiser. We were feeding off of it. And when the truth came out, instead of saying, oops, our bad, we need to understand how this tech works better. Oh, this is foolish. Because they were made to look foolish because they doubled down and didn't do their damn job. So before you can recognize what happened, they just started lambasting the platform. That's why I don't go with other people and put this all at Stadia's lap. Stadia had some communication issues, but the media was on a campaign agenda to, again, cover up all the misinformation they told you up until the release, because they totally got it wrong. And then in comes Killed by Google, and that made all their bloviating seem legitimate. It's just a matter of time before Google kills this. And then that seeped into the cloud community, unfortunately, because we were disappointed and we didn't understand how to handle disappointment. We let our disappointment cloud our judgment, and we allowed that disappointment to talk about the future contrary to the facts. Even today, well-known, well-liked content creator came across a ridiculous story and called it out on Twitter and said, this is bullpucky. And the story read, xCloud getting keyboard and mouse destroys Stadia. It's the carte de la crème, or whatever the wannabe fancy terminology is for the death blow is. The crème de la carte. Le carte de la cleanse. Whatever these silly people say to make themselves sound smart, but they're stupid. Right? So, but guess where that came from? That came from a well-recognized group where, if you look at their name and they're called out in the article, that they wouldn't say nothing like this unless this is the facts. These are the, why would they put their name to this unless these are the facts? Because the expectation is if you're that entity, then you have fanfare towards, you're not a fanboy, but you have fanfare towards Google products, and the perception is there might be a little bit more favoritism towards them. No one would expect the complete opposite. The scowling disdain for, a particular Google product. No one would expect that. But see how, again, letting our personal disappointment cloud our judgment and speaking in absolutes about the facts. But here's what I have to say to that. It's always going to happen. That's right, Dirty Max. I wish I still had that track. Oh yeah, and the irony is that's who I brought the track. But again, the irony is that I brought the track on them. But the thing is, at this point in time, this is 2022. I can no longer blame those pockets, those entities. Yeah, this is where it's going to turn to somewhere where you didn't expect, where our little coming to Jesus conversation is going to turn, and you're going to have to pick up the mirror and you're going to have to look at it for the rest of this conversation. There have been conjecture and commentary. Look, in order to be in YouTube, or in order to post an article, or in order to post a Twitter, does it require you to have ultimate accreditation? And do you have to swear to a journalist or a YouTuber or a Twitter flag that you'll swear that you're only going to stick to the facts? No. My 16-year-old right now can set up a WordPress, call himself the almighty gaming guru, and as long as he's entertaining or whatever, attract 20,000 listeners. As long as he feeds into the entitlement gamer, we'll get into that later. He's gonna create a following, and he just could be a self-proclaimed, guru. And people will think, why would you call yourself the almighty gaming guru unless you got some type of background? He must have some background. Some people just fall for stuff without validating, without kicking the tires in. It happens all the time, and it's never going to stop. So at this point in time, I no longer blame them. I blame you. I blame you. I in no way, shape, or form, and when I say you, I don't mean everybody that's listening, but the people that I'm talking to know who I'm talking to. Under no shape or form or fashion do I have the authority to make someone stop saying something. I can argue with them or counteract or debate or whatever, or I can just say it ain't worth my time. For those that look at things more clearly, maybe I'll just focus on them. And in 2022, honestly, that's what I've decided to do. That's what our platform has decided to do. We're not going back and forth playing whack-a-mole with everybody that listens to every single conjecture. They want to be, they want to be a roadie to every single content creator or every single Twitter entity that's out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time to go back and forth. I mean, especially for those of us that have been doing this for years. So if what you do is you wake up every morning, you go check Twitter or Reddit, and you're looking at what's being said about Stadia, and it angers you to the point like, why don't they believe this? Why don't they believe? Because they just don't. That doesn't mean that you have to acclimate yourself to the jargon that's out there. And if you do, and you fall victim to it, that's not Stadia's fault. There are some things that Stadia, I think, could do better. It would work out better for everybody. But at the end of the day, they're going to do what they're going to do. And the way that they operate is unorthodox to everybody else that we've seen. And it is for a reason, I believe. But For the most part, I still think that there's some things that they could do better, but they are who they are. If you don't like that about them and it bothers you that much, then you got to go somewhere else. That's like going to a restaurant and you love the food. You're like, oh, this food is great, but they keep giving us plastic forks. The plastic forks break when I eat them because the food is so damn good and I'm biting too hard and I'm choking on these plastic forks. So you go to the manager, you go to the cashier, can y'all get some metal forks or some better? No, this is what we do. We have cheap plastic forks. That's how we keep the price down. We have cheap plastic forks. But I don't think that are you gonna literally sit there and propose to somebody why, you should have this, you should have that? No. I mean, some people actually do that because they feel entitled. I like this thing here. I spent this dollar here. You have to give me what I want. No. If it's not something that lawfully is to be provided, as a consumer, you get up, you ask for your money back. For that particular instance, you can't retroactively go back and say, look, well, I was eating here 35 other times and y'all had plant. No, for that moment, where it was the final straw, get your money back and leave. But too many people feel like that instead of doing that, it's time for them to campaign and market against something. And, this is my activism against this and against that. If you don't want to get caught up in that, what you have to ask yourself is, what am I here for? What am I absorbing all this content for? What am I on Twitter for? What am I on Reddit for? If you're on these places to, again, just lay on your back, like I said earlier, and get your belly stroked, meaning getting entertained, fine. When you come across misinformation or you get taken down the wrong path, you shouldn't be surprised. You're just here to be entertained. But if you're here to be informed and routinely these sources that get you all riled up in the morning when you go check social media or wherever you engage with them at, if when the dust settles, they're continuously wrong and you still acclimate yourself to these sources, that's a you problem. If I'm the people that are peddling the misinformation and the conjecture, why would I stop? You're not giving me any incentive to stop. So I can't blame them. Now, what am I yelling about? And why am I yelling this time? Because, here, let me show you something. The conversations around this game have been utterly ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I was going to wait till tomorrow when the official announcement was made, but I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say, I think we've seen enough. It looks like this game is coming. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm admitting that. I don't have 100% validation by them, and you get that by them coming out and making an official statement to the public. We don't have that yet. But I'm gonna go out here and say this. All that rhetoric, they've given up on Stadia, and all that, or Stadia's given up on AAAs, or Stadia doesn't care. All that rhetoric that you've been peddled for the last few years, incrementally over time has been disproven. But you didn't want to go with that notion. And a lot of you fell into the belief that, yeah, that must be what's happening. So, oh man, Stadia's done for. All of you that fell for that rhetoric, who feel like that you want to be fed fact-based information. How does it feel? How does it feel? How do you feel waking up today, knowing that you poured your heart, your soul, and the precious commodity of time into conversations, into rhetoric that was meaningless? You wanted to better understand what was going on with this platform. You didn't want to listen to us. So you spent years, not days, not weeks, not even months. You spent years listening to all the wrong sources. And this is what you get for it. How does it feel? How does it feel? Don't stand there with your mouth wide open and shocked. Close your damn mouth and look in the mirror and ask yourself, do I want to be informed or do I want to belong? Because if you want to be informed, then you follow the facts. You do what a lot of people have done. You know what? I had to cut that off. There's so much rhetoric over there. I can't deal with it. It's continuously false. And God bless them. They can say what they want to say in that region or in that space. But again, it's not jiving with the facts. I want to be informed. Not know, oh man, they're done for. When all the evidence was out there, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. All the evidence was out there, and you kind of knew better. But again, because you're still acclimating yourself to bad sources, you entertain it, and you let your minds be susceptible to it. I would be this emphatic even if FIFA 23 didn't come. Why? Because it all comes down to deals. It all comes down to numbers. It all comes down to what makes sense for the platform. Again, this platform does not operate in a normal manner when it comes to other platforms. They're unorthodox. They do things their own way. Like it's unorthodox to have Madden and, for 2 years straight and say, you know what, we don't want Madden the following year. As disappointing as that is, here's why it happened. It happened because likely, or did you ever think it, but you guys would have understood, you guys and gals would have understood this if you just followed the facts. Is it possible that what works for mainstream gaming doesn't foot the bill for cloud gaming all the time? Because we're just 1% of the business and we're different from the overall brass of gaming consumers. Meaning, is it possible that in order to get Madden back on there for a third year, there would have had to be a considerable amount of money paid? And in the previous 2 years, the hope was, yeah, we paid that considerable amount of money, but Madden is going to sustainably bring more people to the platform, for one, and for two, these people are going to keep playing Madden, buying it at such and such rate, and these people will be retained on the platform and they'll buy other games. So we're going to turn this 30 million or 20 million, we'll be able to turn that at least to 50, 60 million. Is it possible that the demographic for Stadia isn't as big on Madden as the general populace is? So therefore, instead of that 50, 60 million, being made from the 30 million investment? Is it possible they only got 5 or 10 back? What you get isn't sustainable. And is it possible that the biggest sports game in the world, FIFA, that 30 million could have ballooned to 60, 70, 80, 90 million. I'm just throwing numbers, but I'm just throwing certain numbers out here for you to understand how businesses operate. We've already put a ish load of investment into the porting. We're hiring people all the time. You watch Clive's show. Clive is showing you there was a specific management job, I believe it was last week, if Clive is still in the chat, that was Stadia specific. They're doing these expansions. There's a budget. And again, this belief that, all you got to do is act like a 95% business and they'll come. No. Study after study, analyst after analyst shows you that the ceiling for cloud gaming right now is just low. It makes no sense to go all out and spend an exuberant amount of money on it beyond the ceiling. Yes, people are paying for server grades or server upgrades. Everybody's doing that. That's elementary. That just comes with the process. That's it. GFN ain't paying for games to be on the platform. Xbox's process to put a game on the cloud is just a flip of the switch. So beyond the cost of just getting the game on Game Pass, there's no issue there. Amazon is a subscription service, so of course they're paying for you being in their service, but that's it. They're not paying. Stadia is the only platform that's just paying for your game to exist on the platform, whether it's in a service or not, just for the game to be there. You can't do that if the rate of return, if not only the rate of return isn't showing, but then the ceiling is low. So is it possible that when they were doing these surveys and all this other stuff, isn't it possible there was a reason for that? Isn't it possible that the budget was being spent on ensuring the Saints Row come, the DLC for Resident Evil, and God else knows what else is coming? The year's not over. And we're looking at Madden, and as much as we want to have it on the platform, it's not benefiting us. We're not getting more people that are sustained on the platform. We're not getting enough. And those new people are spreading out and buying other things. Where FIFA, on the other hand, is doing that for us. Is likely what they saw in the numbers. We're not good. I mean, it's not a feasible possibility. That's more feasible to me than just sitting there, oh yeah, it's over. EA's left and they're never coming back. That's silly. That doesn't make any sense. But again, for those of you that just want to be entertained, this conversation is not for you, but feel free to listen. It doesn't matter. You're going to the sources and you're being entertained. Oh yeah, you're really socked into them this time. Oh, you're just looking to be entertained. But if you're that person that sits there with your English breakfast tea, biting into your croissant, sitting there with your paper, and really feel like that you want to have engaging, fact-based conversations of what's going on with anything, the fact that you keep relying on sources that are continuously wrong, is that a them problem or is that a you problem? Don't get mad at us when we don't want to engage your conjecture. It's wrong. Look at your screen. It's wrong. Now, does this mean, again, as we said 1,000 times, because people will try to move the goalpost, does this mean that Stadia is perfect? No. Who the hell ever said that of any credibility? I mean, if somebody thinks that it's a perfect test case for them, that's different. But to believe that it's perfect for everybody? No, who believes that? The argument is that has been lingering over everything related to Stadia is Stadia up? Stadia didn't do this right. Is it because they're shutting down and they don't care? This happened against Stadia. Is it because they're shutting down and they don't care? Stadia didn't get this game because they're shutting down and they don't care. You know what I'm saying? They weren't able to. This price is $5 more on Stadia than it is on Xbox. Is it because Stadia's shutting? Everything that anything was a slight negative connotation was associated to Stadia shutting down, and they don't care. You got a decision to make. Again, for the people that just want to be entertained, that don't take this stuff as far, they don't feel like there's any knowledge to be gained, they just want to engage in conversation. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those who wake up and they swear that they have something profound to say, or they're going to make some serious discovery, of any intellectual premise when it comes to this stuff. And you were still associating yourself to wrong and to conjecture. It's on you. Do better for yourself. You gotta do better for us. Again, like we said here, we are no longer playing whack-a-mole or entertaining. The earth is flat when it comes to this stuff. We're just following the facts. And you can be disappointed with the facts, but just because you're disappointed doesn't mean that Stadia is closing down. Because I get a lot of time, you don't want to have the around the about conversations. No, I don't want to have the around about conversations because my time is precious. I don't have time to sit there and entertain full-fledged adults who have functioning brains that can problem solve better than the way that they are, but they refuse to do it, and they're just cascading misinformation because they're disappointed and they can't control their disappointment. I don't have time to entertain that. Time is too short, not enough hours in a day, life is too short. I want to be educated, I want to grow my knowledge on stuff. I don't have time to entertain people that are staunch, that are going to die on the hill of misinformation. And if you feel the same way, then you better start practicing the habits of people that feel that way. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not going after anyone. I'm just saying, look in the mirror. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. Let's read this chat, because I know you guys have a lot. Shout out to Ray with all the hands. MM2K. Let me see what else we got here. Listening to this while optimizing my route for the Cloud Gaming Championship. Triple Superstar, good to see you again, my good friend. All right. Everybody getting a raffle on. That's what I like to see. Shout out to Psalmist Pro, my good brother. The best thing to see your Stadia doesn't heat up the room. If I win, I'll get Life is Strange. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, there's that sale. So this is great timing. Coupe de Grace. whatever that is. Oh, because Amnon says Ubisoft will not save Stadia. Their games are also coming on every other platform. Ah! Well, here's the thing, Aminor. They're not coming day and date on every other platform. They're there on GFN and they're there on Luna, and that's great. But they're not coming on every cloud platform and every platform day and date. Like that, the Ubisoft Classics on PlayStation, that's a great addition, but it's not Ubisoft Plus. He says, MM2K doesn't blame Stadia or Google for their failures like always, but it is your fault as a consumer for not understanding the Stadia or defending it. No. So that's false because, again, I just went on a rant about the marketing of the 100+ games. So that's baloney right there, Aminor. Aminor is getting a little bit more craftier in his sentences. He's getting angry. Aminor, do you feel some type of way because all that Stadia is doomed to make you look foolish now? You getting upset? I think they got a pill for that, Aminor. But no, I don't blame someone who is new to this process and who don't understand what Stadia is. That's what we have to do as far as people welcoming them in to the community. That's what we do. When people have questions, like when I came into the community and I had questions, people welcome me in and they inform me, and just left their emotions out of it and just inform me from the top down of what was going on. And that's how I was able to gain the knowledge that I have, right? And this platform is unorthodox as far as if you're a hardcore gamer and you're trying to understand, in which direction they're going. You got to understand where cloud gaming is going altogether. Cloud gaming is not trying to compete with steady device gaming. But if you're just a casual gamer, the atypical demographic for Stadia, all you're doing is picking up the sticks. You're seeing games that you like and you're playing. Beyond that, there's nothing to explain because the atypical casual gamer don't need every game day and date. They're not sitting there. They don't even know who MM2K, who the hell he is. I'm talking about the gamers who have been following this platform, following other platforms for years. They understand what was going on. They understand what was being said, but they were letting their emotions direct them. That ain't got nothing to do with Google because Google told them. If you're someone that wants to be that deep and that entrenched in what's going on, Google done told you since the SG&E letter what the hell they were doing. They told you since the GameIndustry.biz. They done told you in save points and other things what's been going on. But you've allowed your conjecture of killed by Microsoft and this person and that group to make you believe, and Reddit make you believe otherwise, when time after time it's been proven wrong. Yes, I blame you for that. If you're someone that has been following this platform for years, if you have been following this platform and Aminor, this is the death blow to your this is the death blow to your literature, your amped up literature as of late. If you have been confused by Stadia for years and you've been following it for years, and you still don't know what the hell is going on, but you're still following it and spending money on it, that's a you problem. Who the hell follows something for years, don't know where the hell they're going? That doesn't make any damn sense, Aminor. We still love you though, brother. Anyway, just don't announce that you are asking for your money back or quitting. I don't know what that's about. Shout out to my brother Ray. He said, praise the Lord. Oh man. FIFA 23 launched the same day as Mexico come online would be epic. That would be epic, John. That would be epic. And again, I'm not saying that people can't have conversations. Well, I think they should do more. But I think that was people's legitimate argument all along. But they felt like the more powerful argument was to say Stadia's dying. I don't want to just say I think they should do more, because that would be easily countered, and someone would say, well, they're doing just enough for me. So what's the biggest way to reach not only the people that agree with you, but to try to convince the people that don't agree with you that they should agree with you? Convince them that Stadia is dying. If that ain't the most self-absorbed, superficial thing out there, but again, we're all adults, we're grown. Like I told my wife, my second oldest daughter went out of town. She asked my grandson, my grandson is 16 years old. He's not trying. She asked my other grandson with our other daughter to watch her kids. My grandson is trying to talk to girls on the phone. He's trying to play football. He's trying to be the new Albie Shore. If you're down with R&B, he think he the slickest thing since fish grease, right? He's not watching no kids. So me and my wife had to bring the kids over to our house one particular day because we knew they weren't going to get watched. He wasn't going to watch them. And they were downstairs doing stuff, and he's sitting there on his phone talking to girls on the phone, right? So my wife got mad, and I'm calling it. Said she was calling up our daughter, was going to curse her out, and I told her, I said, stop it. I said, number one, we shouldn't have picked him up. Number two, you gotta let these bugs learn on their own. They're adults. They know what they're doing, and she was hoping we would pick them up. And guess what? We fell right into her trap. Not gonna keep reminding adults, don't listen to that. It's not the facts. You claim you want the facts. Some people don't want the facts. They want to belong. Some people think they want the facts. But it's like, if you're training me on something, like when I first started my career, I remember we had two trainers. One trainer was used to doing it the physical way. This is how long I've been working. This is before we had computers and we had terminals. They were called wangs. Don't laugh. Don't show the childish nature. They were called wangs. And when they worked on the wang, it was but it wasn't a computer. You couldn't send emails, none of that. You could only call, send faxes. And we just started getting computers. Now, we're a Fortune 500 company, so computers weren't around everywhere and we just didn't have them. No, they just were a new concept. And we finally started getting computers, right? So the one trainer, the one trainer refused to learn how to use the computer and like doing things the old-fashioned way. The other trainer that I would see, because they job shared, the other trainer that I would see on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, she liked using the computer. She liked doing innovative stuff. I'm a young guy at the time, so I'm more acclimated to trainer number two. So I went to my boss and I said, look, I really like trainer number one, but I don't feel like that I can do the best job that I can do learning from her. Why don't you stick me under trainer number two? Well, trainer number two only comes in Wednesdays and Fridays. She'll send me notes and I'll follow her notes. And it ended up working out. I mean, there was already things with the computer that I was able to automate, and they didn't even know how, and nobody knew how to use the computer, but I knew it from working at home and stuff like that, and my brother, and then in school. So I was automating stuff on my own, creating little databases and stuff like that. And they loved it. And one thing that I automated won me an award. I would have never got that had I stayed with trainer number one. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you really want something, you're going to make you're gonna create the steps and create the situation to where that's the thing that you get. And so if you really want to be educated, and you know that the sources you're spending a lot of time with are not educating you, then you're gonna pull away from those willingly. You're not gonna keep waking up listening to the same stuff. That doesn't make any sense. That's why I said don't fall for that. I'm not playing whack-a-mole. And yes, I do blame the people that keep listening to the same junk and then want to come to the internet and be like, oh, woe is me, bird. EA left Stadia alone, bird. Like they got Blue Nile, bird. They're silly. When you follow the track record of facts and what was being said and what was being done, like Stadia told you, it was silly to believe that. Now, if you looked at followed those tracks and said, I don't believe in this plan, I don't think it'll work, that's one conversation. But to go all out and try to convince people to feel what you're feeling and come up with this conjecture is silly on one part, but they're doing it for a reason. It's being done for a reason. So I'm not, I don't agree with the reason. I don't think it's cool, but they know what they're doing too, and they're doing it for a reason. I can't blame them. I blame you because you claim you want something else, but you're going somewhere else that's completely different that won't get you where you want to go. It's your problem. I bought it, but only played it a few times. Was that 2K? NBA 2K was a bad port, and EA definitely keep up with the nightly updates. Man, I just woke up and checked the store. Haha. If I win, I'm getting Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. That's what's up. One of the best games ever, Blood. Yeah, I like Blood Dragon, and the port on Stadia is great. He says Shadow PC is dead. Stop. It's pricey though, but Ray gonna put you in a headlock, Ron. MM2K, do you think LCP received closed studio money in some way? Who is LCP? Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay. From what we understand, here's what happened, Blue Fire. Money is earmarked. So that means when you create a budget, you know what I'm saying? You're looking at it quarterly, and you may say, okay, these are going to be the costs each quarter. And then sometimes when you're just projecting things down the road, you say, okay, this is going to be the cost X, Y, Z time down the road or whatever. But more or less, you're looking at within that quarter, right? A lot of times. So from what I understand that happened is that Alphabet Company hit up Google and was like, yo, we got to change our strategy on getting these games. We can't pay these $20-30 million for games and all that other stuff. And, but we still got to get games. What is our problem? So Google, along with Stadia, went back to the devs and asked them, what is the problem? And the devs gave a response, and the devs went back to Google and Stadia, gave them answers, and Google and Stadia went back to Alphabet Company, the parent company, and said, okay, here are the problems that they're saying that are, that's causing this to be so expensive, so cumbersome, all this other stuff. Now, we devised a plan to fix it, to get it together. Here's our estimated costs. A check was then written and said, cool, get it done. Get it done. Now, Was that check written Blue Fire based upon, all right, we don't, you know, we were going to add this much to the retail budget, but now, you know, the low change porting is taking up whatever percent of the retail budget or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Would that be hard to fathom? No, not at all. But the question was posed, what is the problem? Find out what the problem is. They found out what the problem was, came back to Alphabet. Check was written to work on the fix, which is the low change porting. So how that was funded, I'm not 100% sure. But it's reasonable to believe that, yeah, that the savings that came from the closure of SG&E would have been calculated into it at some point in time. You got to remember that as soon, like when this project maybe started, you probably still had, maybe not, you probably still had some of those synergized positions on the payroll. So at some point in time, the extra fundage that would have normally went to SG&E, portions of that going, yeah, how the way that it probably worked is that was taken. It's weird. Because then you got to deal with I forgot the name of it because I don't deal with it anymore. Like whenever you oh man, I forgot the term for it because I don't deal with it anymore. Thank God. I hate it. Oh my gosh. But when money gets dissolved from a particular project or an entity, right? I don't want to call interstate, but inter something credits that are done back into like accounts that may be or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that are associated to that whole department's budget. Right? This is what normally, I don't want to say every company does this, but that's what normally happens. It goes into that whole business sector's budget, the whole business sector's budget. Right? And then you got to go through, because everything is transactional. You just go right back around and you write out a check. So I don't know I don't know how that would have worked out if it was money that was just repurposed into the whole sections, the department or sections budget, and then a check was sent out or payments were made, or allocated or whatever, or if someone just kept that money earmarked. It's hard for me to explain like right now in a few moments. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the terminology for it. But it's the process of where money from a department goes back to like the budget pool and then gets repurposed, is what I'm trying to say. So, but good question. I have been waiting for years to ship this. Laugh out loud, Lil Mac. It says, keep waiting, Aminar. What's up, bud? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Prima. That's gonna be sick. It said, okay, and we waiting for Cowboy. He says, okay. I'm jumping in to talk some trash and show some love first. I'm sour, then I'm sweet. But but that's the thing, y'all. Like, don't let them move the goalpost on you. Don't let them say, oh, well, this doesn't fix all the problems. No one ever said that it fixed all the problems. Like, I'm a 60 frames per second person, and I got an issue with games not being 4K going into Stadia Pro. I think we've seen another case, and I can't remember which game it was. There's issues, but there's issues everywhere. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say, look, for instance, the issues with xCloud to me are so paramount, I don't even want to play it. The only thing I would play on it is Fortnite. Fortnite is flawless on here for some reason. Well, not for some reason. We know why. It's Fortnite. Fortnite is flawless on there, but I don't play Fortnite. You know what I mean? But even though the problems and the inconsistencies, as far as I'm concerned, with xCloud are so paramount that I don't want to play it, I'm not going to sit there and doubt it, doubt that anybody likes it, or doubt if somebody says I'm having a good time with it. I'm not out to do that. That's silly. I'm having too much fun enjoying what I do like. And a lot of time you have a lot of people out here that are, oh, Bird, it's over for Stadia, Bird. They're snuffleupagus out here because they don't enjoy anything. And misery loves company. Don't get caught up in that. But again, y'all should know better. A lot of you should know better. Not the new people. A lot of the new people, again, we've had conversations and they say, I don't get all this hate. I don't understand it. And I've had to break it down to them and they're like, okay, that makes sense. I'm not talking about the new people. I'm talking about the people that have been here for years. And the talk around FIFA 23 was so silly. I just sat back and watched it like, what the hell are y'all talking about? Like, nobody knows if it's coming or not, but it's not. But regardless of the outcome, it has nothing to do with Stadia not caring. They're a business and they got to do what makes sense. That's why FIFA's coming, it looks like, and Madden isn't. FIFA and Madden elsewhere works. Apparently it didn't work for Stadia, or Madden would still be coming. Because they got FIFA. How do we know that? Because they got FIFA. Lord Jesus. This is exactly why I know some people feel like MM2K, you're being a little bit more reclusive. You ain't out here with the people anymore. That we like the 2021, 2020 MM2K. 2022 MM2K has had it. I'm tired. I'm exhausted of explaining why 2 + 2 = 4 and not 5 to people. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Like, this is so silly. Yes, is the platform, does it operate in an unorthodox fashion? Yes, but you can understand just because something is different doesn't mean you can't track it. We're telling you, we've all been telling you the names that I named earlier. John, Clive, myself, Sonny, and there are others that have been telling you. Just follow these tea leaves and you'll understand what's going on. For the most part, we don't always know what's going on, but everybody don't always know what's going on with Xbox. I know people that are close to Xbox, close to PlayStation. They get information from who you wouldn't believe. And they've told me behind closed doors, you know what, that thing that I was telling you about, MM? I wasn't 100% sure, because you never know with them. You never know. Like, these guys, you never know. I've heard that so many, you never know. You can never be sure. You never know with them. So I'm used to it. I'm used to not knowing everything that they're going to do. Because I'm more focused on playing the games than trying to play board member from my office thousands of miles away when I'm not even part of the staff. All right. I do want to talk about entitled gamers real quick, because that's the perfect segue into this. So I've been hearing about Bungie getting threatened because people don't like the game. Now, I've said this more forcefully, and Petter's probably like, oh my God, MM2K, don't present this the same way you did on Sound Off. No, I'm not going to do that. I go raw and uncut about this on Sound Off. I'm going to say this, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's somewhat associated to Stadia. For those of you that don't like what a game is doing, or don't like what a platform is doing, just because you spent money. And this is something that I had to learn. And this is coming from someone who spent a lot of money on Xbox for almost 2 decades. And I felt like a sense of entitlement of, I should know what you're getting into next. I should, as a consumer, I should know if you really want to pursue this. But here's the thing. It's their product and they can take it in any direction that they want. And particularly when it comes to a game, that's their artistry. They can present their art any way that they want. Just like when it comes to movies and TVs, even if you pay money for it, the expectation is by the time from when this thing starts to when this thing finalizes, I may not like how the story is told, or I may not like how the thing is presented. I'm buying into someone else's interpretation and presentation of their art. It's their art, not mine. If I want my art, then I need to go build my own damn art and play it. But I get to play someone else's art at a lot cheaper price than it would be for me to create it on my own and see if I like it. And if I like it, I'll recommend it. If not, then I won't. And move on. But that's how you move on from entertainment. Everybody should get into entertainment understanding that you may, at some point in time, you may not like what's going on. That's when you cut it off and you move on. But that's the problem with this entitlement society within gaming, that, okay, I don't like something and I paid $60 for it 3 years ago. I ain't never bought no DLC or anything, but I don't like the direction of the story. Well, then don't get it and don't play it. That's their art. And when you buy art, you are buying into the possibility that how that art finishes, or once the dust is settled and you've had enough time with it, that you may not like it anymore. You may love it. That's the risk that you take with entertainment. Now, no one's saying that you can't criticize, but we're seeing people being attacked, being harassed, parts of orifices being sent. This is ridiculous. And it's going to, we've seen it in movies and stuff like that over diversity. I ain't gonna get it, but it's stupid there too. But it's going to new heights in gaming that is sickening. And it's all from this I'm entitled mentality. Just because you spend $1 somewhere doesn't make you part of the board. It doesn't make you part of the selection committee. You're buying into trying out somebody's art and seeing if you like it. Hold on one second. And if you don't like it, it's okay to walk away disappointed. It's okay to later criticize, but it's okay to move on with your life and be disappointed. This class of gamer has the hardest time being disappointed with anything. And y'all wonder why y'all keep getting the same cookie cutter crap all the time. Because nobody's willing to take any risks. No one's willing to try to be innovative. Because what you've done is you suck the life out of art and you turn it into a conveyor belt burger factory. It's okay to be disappointed with something. When you become disappointed with something, it's okay to move on from it. If you don't like it. Or if you don't like it, particularly if you don't like it anymore. And just because you paid for something 3 years ago, like for instance, if I bought into Division 2, I bought the game 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. And let's just say I don't like it now. That doesn't give me the right to harass massive. I paid $60 for this game, so this is the direction I feel. Here, write this down. No. I said, I can give my feedback, I can voice my displeasure, and then move on. And trust me, I had to learn that the hard way as someone from that was with Xbox, saw them going in a certain direction, and then under Phil Spencer, saw them going into a different direction that I didn't like. It was hard for me. I get it. But that was after me being with a console for a decade and a half, even more. Me being used to having that console in my house, but me still not taking it to a certain level. Right? It's and you know, and if you want to know where I think this came from, I think this all started with Mass Effect 3. When Mass Effect 3 was released and people didn't like the ending, I thought the game in entirety was a masterpiece, and I understood what was going on. And lo and behold, this person claimed it, and they showed me enough information where I believe them. They were part of the development team. I was talking to them in like a GameStop forum or something. I think it was a GameStop forum or whatever, because people were just lambasting the platform. But if this person was right, what BioWare was trying to do is that this was the first arc of multiple arcs, and they wanted to leave that suspense there so you find out what happened to the characters in the next arc. You know, kind of like Robotech, where Robotech had those 3 arcs. The first arc, then there was the second arc that was kind of weird, and you didn't understand what's going on, but then you still didn't know what happened to the people of the first arc, and then the third arc came, and then all of it made sense, right? That they were looking to do something similar to that in my conversations with this person that was part of the dev team. And when people, you know, demanded, and there was class action lawsuits, and people demanded to know, like, again, that was the way that they want to present their art. And I think had they presented it that way, it would have been a lot more impactful and longer lasting for Mass Effect. Look at Mass Effect now. That whole thing with Mass Effect really broke up the BioWare team, because after that, they were trying to palate cleanse themselves from Mass Effect, and then they moved on to Anthem, and it just didn't work out. It wasn't a smooth transition, and now look at BioWare. Like, there's a new Mass Effect game coming, but I think it's Dr. Carson, whoever it is, he came and left again. It's a mess. All because of that. Class action lawsuit. I mean, can you imagine as a developer? Can you imagine as an artist that you put your art out a certain way? Can you imagine if you're a game developer? You have a certain vision and you present it a certain way, and people don't just not like it, but they're now suing you because of how you presented your art. And see, the reason why I associated what's going on today with that event is that when that happened, too many gamers thought it was okay. Yeah, stick it to them. They thought it was okay. And that planted the seed of the entitlement gamer. The gamer that listens to Yang Ye, that listens to Meancast Boy, that listens to Rich from Review Tech, that always trying to find you something to fight and be angry about, right? Right? This company should do this and should do that, and if they don't do that, then you gotta let them be heard. You know, go touch some grass or go get laid or something, for crying out loud. Like, it's not that serious. But it's that entitlement. You spent $60 there, so the story should be the way that you want it. No, the story is the way that they want it, and if you want it the way that you want it, you go create a goddamn game. Excuse my French. Don't worry, Petter, I'm not going to go all the way to sound off. Sound off MM2K, I promise. But that entitlement gamer is destroying gaming, and we see a lot of it here in Stadia too. It's starting to seep through. Stadia's not doing this. Stadia's not doing that. They're gonna die. What the hell are you talking about? It's a 1% business. Nobody is going all out right now. Xbox right now only has Game Pass games in there. They don't even have 4K capability right now in the cloud. They're talking about we're going to have select games that you can buy. We don't know we don't know if that's going to be Call of Duty or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We don't know what select games they're going to have you buy. GFN is they're not paying for games. They don't have a storefront. They haven't said, look, we got to plug every single dollar into changing this UI and make it smoother. They're incrementally working on it, whatever. And they've even said, Phil Eisler, I think his name is, the vice president of GFN, if I got his position correct. He even said, GFN for us is not supposed to take over hardware. This is a hybrid product that we're bringing. First is our hardware will always be our hardware. Secondly, will be our cloud, for those that can't access our hardware. That's all. Amazon Luna. Amazon have games that they've built that are doing well. Did they put them in Luna? Nope. Because they're not willing to spend the cheese or burn the cheese to put these hundreds of $1 million games that it took to build or to collaborate on, to put them in a $5.99 service. Nobody is going all out for a business with a 1% ceiling. That's why all this stuff is incremental. But just because something isn't the way that you don't want it, doesn't okay you trying to burn the house down and pissing in everyone's cornflakes along the way. And I urge, if you're going to do any fighting anything game related, fight back against this entitlement gamer. Fight back against them. They're destroying the thing that we love. All right, you got a few moments to go ahead. I'll give you a few moments. He said, you guys are sitting around the Stadia campfire crying that I whooped everyone in Fast and Furious last week. Just hold hands on and boot up and shut up. Practice if someone can beat me. You too, MM. Well, I'm not a racer. I don't know. You'll probably demolish me there. We can let's find a game that we mutually play. Matter of fact, there's been some grumblings about a PUBG tournament happening, Cowboy. So, you can captain a team. I can captain a team. We can get a whole bunch of Stadia gamers in there. We can make an event out of this, man. We was already talking behind the scenes about it, and our schedules, kind of tore apart to where we couldn't finish collaborating. But let's do some PUBG. Let's get some PUBG together. Ray remembers how we did that. That was a hell of an event, man. Let's get as many stadiums together as we can to get to 100. The rest will be bots, but whatever. Or if we get to 100, we get to 100. What's that? 20 teams of 5. That's it, right? Or 25 teams of 4. I can't remember how many people are on the team. But we get a team together, and we just start we'll see who the best man wins. You know what I mean? We could do that. Well, here's the problem with this Aminar, and I seen you bring this up on Clive's show. Cloud gaming and console markets are two totally different things. Google isn't vying for the console market. They're vying for the cloud gaming market. It's two totally different demographics. So yes, we will, that's like PlayStation, just to show you how asinine that is, Aminar. PlayStation is the #1 console in the United States, right? It is. Okay, no doubt about it. I got one. It's a great machine. I love it. Is PlayStation now the #1 cloud platform in association? No, it's not. So that doesn't make any sense. It's two totally different markets looking for two totally different things. So just because Xbox is ruling in the console region there, it doesn't mean that they're going to rule in the cloud region. And for the same reasons why that people routinely give the nod to Stadia as far as being more reliable as a cloud platform. If those same reasons apply in Mexico, then you're just gonna have a replication. All right. Casey says Stadia just came out with a new game trailer. Oh, okay. Well, a new game trailer for what, Casey? All right. He says, I have to laugh. I'm sorry, but this is way before my time. Oh, you talking about Mass Effect? Yeah, bro, I couldn't believe it, Casey. Yo, Casey. They did class action lawsuits because they didn't like the ending of Mass Effect 3, bro. It was a disgusting time in gaming history. A disgusting time in gaming history. Yeah, bro, I was hurt. I was hurt to be part of that, to actually witness that and see gamers applaud that. I don't know, Ron. That's a good ass question, man. I want some extra fight my damn self. You know what I mean? All right. With that said, I think it's time to draw our winner. Thank you all that stayed way past your bedtime or lunchtime. We're going to pull a winner. And this again is our winner for at least $25 in gift card purchases. Yeah, y'all better hit that raffle. Come on. Come on. Y'all better do that. Y'all better hurry. Predator did it at the last moment. Predator, you're a smart man. I'm counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Well, no, I should do it again. 10, 9, because of the delay. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm going to close the entries. The entries are closed. Should be telling you that the entries are closed. You can no longer enter the raffle. And now we're going to pick a winner. And the winner is Simpleton. Yay! Congratulations. Simpleton, you're on Twitter, right? Simpleton, let me know real quick. Are you on Twitter? If you're on, I think you're on Twitter. Shout out to you, Simpleton. Make sure you're still here, Simpleton. I think Simpleton's still here. Simpleton, shout out to you, my good friend. Simpleton, hit me up. I think you're still here. Yeah, Simpleton is still here. Whoop, whoop. Yep, Simpleton is still here. Simpleton, are you're on Twitter? Yes, you are. Okay, hit me up on Twitter, bro, and we'll get you all set up. All right. Amador wins. Shut your ass up, Amador. No, shout out to Amador. That's my brother from another mother. All right, y'all. Again, stay tuned tomorrow for the name of the new show, right? I think we got the name of the new show ready, right? I believe so. And then, be ready. 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, I believe it is. Hell of a show. I'm excited. I'm so excited. And check me out this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and Purple Haze. We're taking the reins. We're destroying the house. We're burning the house down. Lo-fi. We're going to be hosting Cloudy Thoughts this Friday. Me and Purple Haze. All right, stay tuned for that. All right, I don't know if we're going to have SSC podcast tomorrow, Thursday, so stay tuned. I haven't circled with the panel yet, so stay tuned for that. But until next time, thank you everybody for coming through, and until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Don't go nowhere. What happened? Oh, Geek be going outside. I think Geek got an ice cream truck. I think Geek, he'll listen for 15 minutes and he'll be like, I'm gonna go make my money. He'll go run in his ice cream truck, run around the block 5 times and sell a couple of Nutty Buddies or whatever and come back. I'm back. Yeah, I gotta roll, Geek. Oh, nah, brother. We already ran the raffle, man. Oh, bro. Geek. Geek, you got let that ice. I know it's 1,000 degrees out there, bro. I know you getting paid off them big boy ice cream sandwiches. You know what I mean? But you gotta let the ice cream truck rest for a day, man. My bro out here like Big Worm. All right, Geek. I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna get you. Hey, look, be here for SSC podcast, bro, for another chance to win. All right, with that said, I appreciate the love, all of y'all. Thank y'all so much for the support. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.